Good afternoon. I think one of these days I'm just going to try to do a fun video, but today's is not really that much fun. It's informative though, so have a look. Today's topic is, why is Pizzagate secondary? Now, if you're just emerging from a coma and you're watching this from your hospital bed, that little TV up on the wall right there, you may not yet have heard of something called Pizzagate. Well, I'm going to post a link to Fulcrum News below, where this topic is addressed in detail by one of the more vocal believers in this theory. But for now, I'll try to summarize briefly. In the months before the election of Donald Trump, WikiLeaks released a trove of emails from the Gmail account of Hillary Clinton's campaign manager, John Podesta. Well, it wasn't long before researchers were posting about some odd interchanges within those emails that led to additional research into other people in that circle of friends, including Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and a pizza shop owner named James Alefantis, among other people. Some individuals among these researchers conclude from the many layers of evidence, including the content of the emails, postings on Instagram, associated postings in different forums, the pizza shop website and elsewhere, artwork owned by the Podestas and others, FBI communications about typical code language among those associated in child porn and pedophilia rings, for example. Researchers concluded from all of this information that the Podestas and many of those in this circle of friends are involved in child trafficking and the ritualistic, get this, the ritualistic rape and murder of those children, or at least some percentage of those children. Now, personally, most of the emails that I've seen in this trove of emails could be explained away as sarcasm or some other oddness that old friends may develop in their communication styles, such as inside jokes or the like. But on the other hand, there are 2 or 3 of these emails that would raise an eyebrow on the most skeptical of readers, I think. That eyebrow raising straight over the top of your head to the back of your neck in some cases. Considering the overall amount of circumstantial evidence pointing toward an acceptance in this ring of people of a sexualization of prepubescent children throughout the data among these associates. Kind of strange. A few of these emails between friends that reference cheese pizza or walnut sauce in a strange context could be a coincidence. It could be an unfortunate coincidence, considering the FBI considers these terms and has published to this effect in some of their internal documents, that these terms are frequently in use among people involved in pedophilia and related crimes. But one of these emails, a few of these could be a coincidence, but one of these emails in the Podesta emails shows a real estate agent who tells Podesta that she's found a handkerchief that has a map on it that she thinks may be pizza related. And, you see that, and if his reply to that is not, "What in the holy F are you talking about?" but he says something like, "Well, I don't need that," or "That's not mine," or "You can throw that away," and then reasonable people might be saying to themselves, "What in the holy F are both of you talking about in that email?" When you put all of that together and all of those other bits of data, it's far from a stretch that many are concluding that there's something rotten in the state of Denmark with these people. What people are accusing the Podestas and many in that circle, including Hillary Clinton and others, is not nebulous. Many are saying that these people are in positions of power, that they kidnap and traffic thousands of children and eventually rape and murder some percentage of them. Now, personally, I don't know if any of that is true, and I wouldn't convict anyone of such a crime even in my mind without convincing proof, because accusations on that level require a commensurate degree of evidence. But what I am saying is something that some will find equally controversial, I suspect, if not more so. What I am saying is not meant to be hyperbolic or incendiary. But what I am saying is something that comes down for me, as usual, to cold mathematics. What I'm saying is the following. Even if the worst case scenario imagined by those who accuse the Podestas and Clintons of these crimes are true, even if they and the associates to which they belong are directly responsible for the kidnap, torture, rape, and murder of thousands of children every year, which is what some are saying, these are still not the worst of their crimes. The worst crimes are not concealed or denied by them at all. Their worst crimes are those that they campaign on. Their worst crimes are the wholesale destruction of free markets, the propaganda of race and class warfare, and the subjugation of hundreds of millions of people into a democratic socialist state. Make no mistake, compared to the countless tens of millions of innocent lives lost during the 20th century due to the forced implementation of leftist ideology in Russia, China, Cambodia, Vietnam, Cuba, and now Venezuela, thousands of murdered children per year is just a drop in a bucket. It doesn't even compare. If they are guilty of the child trafficking and murder, that's just one feather in this headdress of evil perpetrated by the leftists on humanity. If that happens to be the one that brings them down, then at least something did. But if you don't recognize that leftist ideology itself is the underlying philosophy of evil, and the more fundamental and grisly crime between the two applications of that evil that we're discussing here, then I think you need to recalibrate your anger and disgust at leftists. Do not misunderstand me. I'm not suggesting you need to soften your stance on child rape and murder, but that you should have the same level of resolve, and then some, against every leftist on the basis of their ideology alone. Are these child sex crime allegations against the leftist elite true? I don't know, but since I know who they are from the fruits of their labor, or lack thereof, I'll say this much. It would not surprise me one damned bit. If you'll destroy the free market in healthcare for a country of more than 300 million people, knowing full well the bloody history of socialism, well, just what expression of evil would you find to be going too far in your psychopathy? There is literally nothing more evil than a leftist, period. Child rape and murder and torture on the scale of thousands per year is just a drop in the bucket compared to what they've done in general, and what they plan to do, what they campaign on, and what they tell you they are going to do, and what you see them doing every single day. Consider that, and try to have a nice day. Thanks, Ken.